Work on the front elevation of this building as we have been able to work on the floor plan. So here we have the floor plan. Now we are to produce the front elevation as we are looking at the building in this direction. So the first thing that we are to do is to draw the horizontal line, so which will represent the ground level. So draw horizontal line, and then on this horizontal line we are going to indicate it here that this is the ground level by writing GL here. So here we have GL for the ground level. Okay, so then the next thing that we are going to do is to, as we are looking at the building in this direction, we are going to see the edge of this wall, see these windows, and then we are going to see the edge of this wall with this column here, and then we are going to see these steps, then we are going to see the edge of this wall. Okay, we see this door, and then we are going to see the edge of this wall here. So then we also see this window. So let's position them. So starting from here, so I'm going to draw a vertical line. So here we have this vertical line, and then I will come to this point here. I'm going to draw the edge of this wall here. So I'll draw the edge of this wall here like this. Okay, then at this point here, so these steps we are going to see them, so we also need to draw a vertical line like this. Okay, then the edge of this wall we see it here, so let's draw a vertical line like this, and then at this end here we also see the edge of this wall, so we draw this vertical line. All right, so let's say the next thing that we are going to do is to position the floor level, but here we have a condition that we need to put into our consideration. Here we have that our floor level apart from dining is 450 risers above our ground level. Okay, so coming here, they are talking about the riser is about the step. Okay, so that's the vertical height of the step. So we have the riser to be 150. Okay, so then the floor level apart from dining for other level, so we have to be 450, that is 3 risers. Okay, that means 150 times 3, so we give us 450. Okay, so then so let's work on that first before we look at the another condition that has to do with dining and the floor to ceiling height. Okay, so let's start with that. So that so we have each riser to be 150, so we are going to take 3. So we are making use of the scale of 1:100, and that is we are dividing each dimension by 100. So if we divide 150 by 100, that will give us 1.5, approximately 2 millimeters. We are going to take 2 millimeters from the ground level. Okay, so take 2 millimeters above this. This is 2 millimeters. Okay, then we take another 2 millimeters. Then we take another 2 millimeters here. So here we are going to draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line from this point. So we draw horizontal line. So from here to here. So horizontal line from here to here, and then going up like this. So we also draw horizontal line from here to here, and then so we come up here. We also draw horizontal line. So we draw horizontal line like this. So we draw this horizontal line. So for the steps, so we have these horizontal lines as we have it here like this. All right, so having done that, so the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to work on the floor to ceiling height. And for the floor to ceiling height, we have a condition that we have to put into consideration here. So here we have that dining floor level is 150 higher than other floor level. Okay, then dining floor to roof is 3,250. So if dining floor level is 150 higher than other floor level, and the distance of the dining floor to roof is 3,250. So what is now the distance of the other floor level from the roof? And that's going to be addition of this 150 and this 3,250, which is going to give us 3,400. So for us to locate the floor level from this level now, so normally I'm supposed to draw, so for this last one, okay, so I need to draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line across like this. Okay, all right, so we have this now. So from this point now, I will now take a measurement of 34 millimeters up, as we know that we are making use of a scale. of 1:100. So we take 34 millimeters up. So this is 34. Okay. Then we draw a horizontal line. So from here, we draw horizontal line. So here we have this horizontal line. Okay. So then we need to bring down the east projection. So east projection, even if I don't want to bring it down, east projection from what we did here is 600. So 600 by 100 will give us 6 millimeters. So this is 6 millimeters here. And then coming to this side, we also take 6 millimeters from this point. Okay, from this line to this side, this is 6 millimeters. Okay, so here we take up a short vertical line. So we take up a short vertical line like this, and then coming to this side, we also take up a short vertical line like this. Okay, so we have this now. Now let's go to the roof. Let's work on the roof. So before we work on other parts of the building. So for the roof, okay. So here we have that reinforced concrete flat roof with 25 bit MOSFET finish. Okay, then we have roof over veranda and adjoining room for WC 700 below the main below the other main roof, and then its projection is 600, which we have made use of. So for the roof itself, so as we are told, so we have reinforced concrete flat roof with 25 bit MOSFET finish. So the thickness of the reinforced concrete is not given to us, but I'm going to assume that to be okay. So to make it more feasible, so let's make it 300. So let's make the thickness of reinforced concrete, let's make 300. Okay, so that 300, that will give us 3 millimeters. So we take 3 millimeters from this line of 3 millimeters of this is 3 millimeters. Okay, so 3 millimeters here. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line from here. So we draw a horizontal line from here to this side. So it goes like this. All right, so then the thickness of the roof finish, so which is bitmos ferrite, is 25. Okay, 25 millimeters. So that's not going to be feasible if you have to take it as if you divide by 100, that will not be feasible. So let's just take a measurement of something like let's take like 1 millimeter up or 1.5 so that we can see it. So we have this. So that is built. So that will be constructed or made over this. Okay. So we just all right. So we draw a horizontal line. So we also draw a horizontal line from this point to this side. So we draw a horizontal line from here to here. So we have this. Okay, so this is how it will be. All right, so then there is another condition that we need to put into consideration, as we have here that roof over veranda and adjoining room for WC 700 below the other main roof. So for us to get the roof, so over this veranda and this part of WC that we have here, we have to take a measurement of 7 millimeters down. So that is what 700 by 100 will give us 7 millimeters. So we take 7 millimeters down from here. So 7 millimeters down. So here we have 7 millimeters. This is 7 millimeters. So we are going to draw a line. So we draw a line. Okay. So we draw a line. So from here to here. So this covers the veranda and also this room that we have here, this water closet that we have here. The other thing that we need to do is that, so the same type of roof, so we take 3 millimeters up. So 3 millimeters up. Okay. So and then we take 1.5 up. So at this point we are going to draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line across this like this. Okay, just as we did here. And then for this one, we also draw a horizontal line for the bitmos fed roof finish. So we have this. All right, so for the roof, so we have set the roof in place as see it here. Now, so other things that we are going to do here, but before that, let us bring out the thickness of this roof. So let's bring out the thickness of this roof. So this line, we are going to make it a thick line. So from here to this end, so it goes like this. Okay, so we have this, and then so we come up here, so we also make this a thick line. Okay, so it goes like this. Okay, so then coming up here, so we also draw this, so making this a thick line from here to this end. Okay, all right, so and then so for this part, so we also make this line, so make this line a thick line, so from here to here, and then this is also made a thick line from here to here. Okay, so then we also make this a thick line, so from here to this end, so we have this. All right, so this for the roof at around here, so the veranda and also the water closet, that part of the water closet room. Okay, so other things that we are going to be doing here, so let's fix the door. So let's fix the door. We have a column here, so this column is a round column, and let's see the information about the column. Okay, so you just told us that 225 diameter reinforced concrete, so it's circular. So as I've done it here, so it has the same what the same thickness as that of the wall, so the same 225. So all I have to do here is to come here, and then I will draw the line. Then we have a beam. So before I draw it, there's a beam here. There's a beam here. Okay, there's a beam here. Even this beam, so it cut across this line, so it will go like this. So it's above, so it goes, this goes to this end here. All right, so this beam, so let's look at the information about the beam so that we can position it here. So for the beam, so here we have the beam 225 by 225 reinforced concrete, 28 at 2,800 above dining floor. So they are talking about this one, and then 2,300 above veranda, so that's 23 millimeters. So above veranda, 23 millimeters. So from this floor level here in the veranda, so we take a measurement of 23 millimeters. Of this is 23 millimeters. So we are going to draw this as horizontal line. So we draw it as horizontal line, but I first of all draw it. So make use of my red pen. So it goes like this, okay, because of, so it's going to stand on the column. It's going to stand on the column. So for this column here now, so we are going to draw. So from here, so we draw a vertical line from here down to this floor, and then so we are going to make this. So make this a thick line from here to here. So make the thick line like this. Okay, so then this line also is an edge of a wall, so it has to be made a thick line from here down. So we make the thick line from here down here. Okay, so let's leave it here like this. Now, so let's work on the door. So we have a door here. So for this door, so I'm just going to project a line. So I project a line from here. Okay, so from this point. So here we have what we draw a vertical line. So here from here to here. Okay, so then we have the door in two pieces. We have the door in two pieces. So so you know, distance from here to here is 18 millimeters. So 18 by 2 will give us 9 millimeters. So we have to take a measurement of 9 millimeters. So this is 9 millimeters here. So we break it down. So break it down like this. Okay. So here we have what we have this. Okay, when we break it down. All right. So then so looking at what we have here, so just move away a bit. So we give it a frame like this. So we have this to then we are told that the door that is DD. So we have it to be a sliding door. So I'm going to design it a bit. Okay, design it a bit like this. Okay, so we'll draw this line, then come down here and draw this line like this. So we have this. All right, so we have it to be in glass form. So I will also draw this. All right, so then it's glass. So I'm going to So let's make this line. So make this a thick line down here, and this also a thick line down here, and this, so make it a thick line. So we also make this a thick line like this, and then so make this a thick line like this. Okay. So in this veranda, there is something that they said, so which I'm going to, so this is glass, this is made of glass. So we are showing you that it is made of glass. Then I'll also show it down here. Okay, so for this, all right, so we are shown here. So then we are told that they are sliding doors, so we need to show it here that they are sliding doors. Okay, so I'm going to put an arrowhead here. Okay, so then I'll put an arrowhead here like this. All right, so we have what we have fixed the door that we have here. Then other things that we are going to, we have this window here. So this window, we have it here. So let's position this window. So the top of the window and the top of the door, they are the same level. So what I'm going to do is to draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line here, and then we also draw a horizontal line here, the horizontal line here. So then for this window that we have here, so for this window, so let's position this window. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line here and a vertical line here. So here we also draw a vertical line. So coming here, we draw a vertical line. So I'm taking the distance as we have it in the front and in the floor plan. So, and then we also have this, and then we have this. All right, so on this side, we also have this. So we have this here. All right, so then, so on this side, so we have a window here in the water closet. So we have this window. All right, so now, so let's work this out. We are told that these are casement windows. So they are casement windows. So I will just, okay, so come out. So to give it a frame. And then, so for this casement windows, so we have the height to be 1000. So that is going to be 10 millimeters. So here we have this to be. So before that, so I'm going to come here, up here, take 1 millimeter, so down. So this is, and then here I will do the same thing here. All right, so then, so we take 10 millimeters for these ones that are in the room. Okay, so we have this, so coming down a bit, so like 1 millimeter down. So we draw this line, and then, so let's complete this. All right, so then, all right, so we have these windows. So they are casement windows as we are told. So so in this case, so it's in the casement window. So in this case, so we are going to have it to be just one piece. So This is made of glass. All right, so we have this one. Then we also have what? We have this also. So for these windows that we have here, so they are also casement windows, so the same type. But in this case, so the height is 8, so this is 8 millimeters. So for these three windows that we have here, okay, so we have this, and okay, so then we need to give it a frame, so 1 millimeter away, and all right, so we have this, and then we make this line. Okay, so then for this, and here also. Okay, so then, so it's also, so this is also glass. So we show here that this is glass, and here. All right, so we have this. Then, though this door that, sorry, this window that we have here, so the casement window can also be in this form by, if we break this into two, so it can be of this form. So the one I put here, we can have it single like this. So this also, I'll break it down so that um we can slide them. Sorry, we can open them to both sides. Okay, so let's make it like that. So that's why I'm breaking it down here like this. Okay, so we have this now. All right, so we have the glass. Okay, so other things that we have here like this. Okay, so we this floor, so the floor at the dining, as we are told, we have to take note of the floor at the dining, but the floor around here, so floor around here in the veranda, so this floor, this surface be made thick. So why for this, so this will be drawn with short dashes line, we can't see this. And also the floor here in around here, so we can't see this floor, you can't see this floor here. Okay, so we need to make this short dashes line. So this also make it short dashes line. You have to make this line short dashes line. So this line be drawn a thick line. Okay, so then we also make this like this. All right, so then the floor around here, this is the dining. So the floor level, as we are told that it is it's 150 above the other floor. So we just take that is 2 millimeters up. Okay, 2 millimeters up, and we are going to draw the line. So we make it short dashes line. You can't see it from outside, so we have to make it like this. Okay, I think it reaches this area. So looking at it here, and then all right, so then all right, so this is the floor in the dining. This is the floor level in dining. You can't see it from outside, so it has to be done this way. All right, so we have this. Okay, so looking at what we have here, we are done with the front elevation. So what we just have to add to this is that we are going to write here. Okay, so the front elevations, we write front elevation. So front, okay, so this is the front elevation. This is the front elevation. I'll write scale. So the scale, um, so the scale is 1:100. All right, so this is the front elevation. It's as simple as I've done it here. So I would like to work on the left end elevation. So let's work on the left end elevation so that we can see how the left end elevation will look in case that is what they ask you to draw. So let's meet on that. Thank you and God bless you. There's something I forgot to add to this, very important, as this is the veranda and we are told, so veranda, we have 1,100 high iron rails with vertical balusters under it, okay? Then open veranda, no gate, okay? So around this veranda area, so we need to put the balustrade here, or the rail, so we have to show it here. So if we divide 1,100 by 100, by that will give us 11. So we have to this is 11 millimeters here, so we have 11 millimeters, and then we take 1 millimeter down, and then at this point here, so we are going to draw horizontal line. So we draw horizontal line as we are told that there's no gate, okay? So we draw horizontal line like this, okay? So we have it here, so let's stop it here, and then here we do the same thing like this, okay? There's no gates. So at this point we are going to draw a vertical line, so it will stop here. So we draw a vertical line down, there's no gate, so draw a vertical line like this, and then come here, draw a vertical line like this, and then so here we need to make this line, we make it a thick line from here to here, and then we draw a vertical line from here to here, a vertical line from here to here. All right, so then the balusters, so for the balusters, so we need to show the balusters, so just move away, so draw a vertical line here, and then draw a vertical line here, okay? So we have it like this, and then move away again, so position this, okay? So we have this, and then on this side, so let's put this here, and then moving a bit, so draw a vertical line. So here we have the rail, so this is the rail, and then the balusters as we have it here. So this is we have completed the front elevation by putting this rail, so the rail and the balusters here, and then we are told that there's no gate, okay? So also, so I've also made this line for the steps. I have to make them thick like this. So thank you.